What's up guys, this is TCG Sam here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you some Invoke Shaddoll test hands to demonstrate what this deck can still do. Despite it not showing up in top cuts around in tournaments, I still believe this can definitely compete with the top meta decks like Adamancipator and Eldritch because of the plays it can pull off. So without further ado, let me show you guys what this deck can do going first. So for our going first test hand, let's see what we get. Rest Shaddoll, Magical Meltdown, Shaddoll Hedgehog, Shaddoll Fusion, and Nibiru the Primal Being. So this is actually a really good hand. So with this we have our normal summon in Alistair, so I'm going to activate that. Magical Meltdown is going to add Alistair from my deck to my hand. Next I'm going to normal summon Alistair and use Alistair's effect. Alistair is going to search Invocation. So from here, we can easily get the Alistair in the grave using the Almirage and Secure Gardener combo, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to turn this into an Almirage and turn the Almirage into a Secure Gardener. So from here, what it does, it gives us a light monster for Construct, and it puts Alistair in the grave, as well as the light in the graveyard for Mechaba later down the turn. So what we want to do here is activate Shaddoll Fusion, fuse away the Gardener and the Hedgehog, make our Construct. And then I'm going to do Construct Chainlink 1 and Hedgehog Chainlink 2. Hedgehog is going to add Squamata to our hand because we don't know what we're going to do with this one. We're probably going to fuse it off on our opponent's turn, and we just want as much versatility as possible. That's why I'm going to add Squamata over any other Shaddoll. But anyways, Construct's effect is going to dump... So from here, what we can do, we can either dump Reshaddoll Wendy and summon something face down, or we could set up a simple play for our next turn where we send El Shaddoll, turn this into Gravity Control, add the El Shaddoll back, and then the Squamata Gravity Controller plus the Mechaba and the Nibiru is going to be our plays on our opponent's turn. So personally, I think that's going to work fine. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to send the El Shaddoll Fusion to the graveyard. I may as well do this now to play around Nibiru that our opponent might have. I'm going to make a Mechaba, put in defense mode to play around Lightning Storms, and then activate Invocation, shuffle itself back, and add Alistair to my hand. And then from here, turn the Construct into a Gravity Controller. Then Gravity Controller, after it's summoned, it triggers Construct to add back El Shaddoll. So really, it doesn't look like much, but it's on our opponent's turn. What we have is we have an El Shaddoll, so we can turn the controller and the Squamata into a window, which is already really oppressive. It's already oppressive enough. Plus, we have a Mechaba with a negate, and if we knew we weren't playing against a trap deck, we obviously set this for our Construct on our opponent's turn, which is just going to be really good. So Construct can send like Shaddoll Dragon to pop a spell or trap or something, or set a Reshaddoll to like summon something back. And obviously you want to do this before you summon Windows, so you're not locked under Windows restriction. But if they somehow, like, let's say, clear your window, somehow manage to like clear your window even after like the Squamata summons, let's say a beast face down, if they manage to like clear all these negates, you still have a Nibiru to wipe their whole board because they're probably going to commit a lot just to out this. And for next turn, you have an Alistair to start your fusion plays all over again, as well as the Rest Shaddoll Incarnation, which is just really good. It gets you Construct back, which is pretty much any Shaddoll monster. So that's what we did for our first hand, and let's move on to the next one. Alright, and for our second test hand, I'm just going to shuffle up. And then I plan to show a third test hand and one that's going second against the Hypothetical's opponent's board to show you that this deck can also break boards, not just make them. Okay, so quick note here, I actually decided not to include the going second test hand, and that's because it really wasn't up to the standards I was hoping for it to be, so I decided to actually save it for another video, for my Invoke Shaddoll dual replay video, where I'll showcase like a full match where I play this deck, and I will have to go second in that, and I'll demonstrate how this deck can break boards in that video instead of this one. But anyways, without further ado, let's get back to this video. So anyways, our going first hand. Alright, so this is a pretty good hand because we have El Shaddoll Construct, but we don't have one of the good Shaddolls like Squamata or Reshaddoll Wendy to use with our Construct, but we can still make plays. So I'm going to activate El Shaddoll Fusion, fusing away Beast and Damage Juggler to make a Construct. that's gonna trigger. I actually want to thin out my deck as much as possible to try to get a good draw off of Beast. So I'm gonna activate Beast's Chainlink 1 and Construct is Chainlink 2. Construct Chainlink 2 is gonna dump Squamata because what we send with Squamata is gonna be dependent on what we draw off of Beast. So I'm gonna shuffle and draw a card off of Beast. We drew an Alistair. That's really good because now we have an extra body on board as well as an extra fusion spell. But anyways, Squamata's effect is gonna activate here. I'm gonna dump Reach It All Wendy, and Reach It All Wendy is going to set. We could set Nail Shell Ariel, but the thing is, I don't think we're gonna be able to get another another Reshadal in the grave. So I'm actually going to set, I guess, just set another beast for our next turn. And then I'm actually gonna put it out of here because the gravity controller zone opens here. So this is probably one of the best spots for it. Anyways, I'm gonna normal summon Alistair. Alistair's gonna add our second invocation from our deck to our hand. And from here, we can make some cross sheep plays. Because we have Cross Sheep right now, and Construct's gonna add back El Shaddoll Fusion. And from here we can actually banish the Damage Juggler just to thin our deck out for perform a Strict Clown. And then I can activate Invocation, banishing these two, the Alistair and the Construct, because for 2. For a light target, sorry. And then if you summon it to Cross Sheep's zone, this is going to trigger Cross Sheep to summon one of our monsters back. So we want to summon back Squamata, because Squamata is just going to give us the most versatility for our fusion plays on our opponent's turn. And then I'm going to activate Invocation, shuffling this back to add Alistair to my hand. And from here, we can actually still continue we can make a Caliga, actually, because we have an extra Alistair, the Invoker, an invocation in our hand. Sorry. So what we do, we can Alistair, target Mechaba, and then from here activate Invocation, banishing Alistair and a dark monster from our grave to summon Invoke Caliga. And this is just a really powerful play because on our opponent's turn we have a El Shaddoll Fusion to fuse away our Beast and our Squamata. And even though we can only use one effect per turn because of Caliga, it gives us a good safety net if they manage to beat over one of our negates. So for example, on our opponent's turn, they'd have to deal with Caliga, so one monster effect and one attack only, plus the negate off Mechaba. We have a monster negate on Mechaba, so we can negate whatever important monster effect they have. And then if they manage to get through that, we can use El Shaddoll Fusion, summon our Winda, and assuming they cleared Caliga or something, you trigger Cross Sheep and you trigger all your Shaddoll effects here, so you can get another Wendy to set something. You get Beast Draw, and then they still have to deal with Winda somehow. And they already used their battle phase on Caliga, so they're in a pretty bad spot here. And if they somehow manage to clear this, you still have a Nibiru as a safety net, and you have an Invocation in the grave to add an Alistair back to your hand for next turn. So pretty much this board, I would say, is pretty unbreakable with good follow-up. So yeah, that's what this deck can actually do going first. Alright, so like I said earlier, I wouldn't be including the going second test hand in this video, so I'm just going to end the video here. But before I do, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more types of these videos, because it really helps me stay motivated to keep uploading stuff, and it really helps the channel grow. But anyways, thank you guys so much once again for watching, and stay tuned for an Invoke Shaddoll dual replay coming soon.